So drop me a hello if you are watching live. It's always lovely to see you here. And I am thinking and creating about listening. Sometimes in create and listen, we get to create and then listen. Sometimes we get to listen and then create. And today there's this real sense of speaking and listening. I've had a slight throat challenge. Again, I've been using my singing bowl here. There we go. And I've got the symbol for the throat chakra there. And so I am thinking and contemplating, musing on the voice. But it's all about communication. So we are, oh, isn't that interesting, that one? Let's have a pen that works. And it's so interesting when you do this work because, you know, my voice is feeling slightly challenged. And so is my pen. Communication. And of course, communication is all about speaking and listening. And so what's happened for me this last few days is, you know, I've been required to listen more than I speak. And it's that balancing, it's that balance of, you know, of what we are saying and what we are listening to, that I want to explore today in a creative and fun way. And I'm just going to grab my pens because I really want. So what I'm feeling here is I want something with a bit more, you know, with a bit more oomph. I want my voice to be, I'm asking today for healing. I'm asking for power of my voice in a healing, loving way, because I'm feeling my voice is feeling challenged, and I want that power back in my voice. I can hear it's not quite fully at its full power. So we need healing, you know, when something's not quite, when we're not quite all there. It's really interesting. I'm called to bring my little stick here, which is all those beautiful colours of blues and greens. And, you know, what am I calling in? What colours do I need? What colours do I need today? And sometimes that's the simplest question that you can ask is, you know, what colour do I want to empower me today? And what I was thinking as I was just writing and journaling before I came onto the live about this, you know, the speaking part of speaking our truth, of speaking out and using our voice. Use your voice. How do I use my voice? I use my voice. Use your voice to shine. Okay. So, and these were the three questions that I was sort of pondering. As always, before Create and Listen, it's, you know, what do I want to say? What do I want to say? What wants to be heard today? What do I want to say? And then it became, what do I really want to say? And then it was more, what do I actually say? And so often, what do I actually say? So often, you know, we know what we want to say, and then we don't really, we don't say what we really want to say, and we end up saying something that is nothing to do with what we really want to say. What do I really want to say? What wants to come? And this was the image that came to me as I was just meditating on that. You know, what do I really want to say? And I had this sort of image of a blue heart. And I feel the paint just wants to be on the page. Sometimes I use a palette, but more often than not, it's great to just dive in there. And of course there's, you know, I've got a lighter blue, but there's also a darker blue. What do I actually say? You know, sometimes we're in a situation where we want to say something, but that masks what we really want to say, and we end up saying something completely different or not saying it. And that's very much where I'm contemplating today. But the image I have that's was in my mind as I was thinking about this was, you know, what do I really want to say? I want to speak from my heart. What happens if I speak from a heart space? From the heart rather than the mind. I think sometimes we perhaps overthink what we want to say. We receive, you know, we listen through colour and symbol and image and eventually words. So here I am listening. What does my blue heart want to say? And I definitely want, you know, what is my heart saying to me? So my heart is saying, you know, when you've got a bit of a sore throat, you get to rest. I get to rest my voice. I call in the healing, and I'm just pulling out some of the words that landed on my page as I started to think about what I wanted to bring to my page today, what wants to be heard. And when we heal and rest, you know, we think about, you know, can I think about my voice shining? Where do we get to shine today? Where do we get to shine? And, you know, we get to shine when we speak words of truth, isn't that interesting? That's vanished into that centerpiece there. When we speak words of power, when our words are strong, we speak with strength. And I love how all of these words just start to blend and just make patterns of their own. We speak words of love, because when we speak words of love, that will bring the healing and the strength. Allowing allowing those words. There's a feeling of a ripple. There's a rippling effect as those words ripple through your heart space, your heart and mind. And of course, what's on your heart before, you know, and mind, there is that real connection. It's really interesting. I've ended up with two brushes, one in the left hand and one in the right hand. And it's fun to explore that. What happens if I take, you know, if I come from this side and I ripple over there, and then I come from that side. And as I've said before, Create and Listen is very much about my creative practice. It is about what is coming up for me, and I have no idea why I want these waves to, you know, to go in both directions, and they crisscross. There's a real sense of left brain, right brain, masculine, feminine, yin, yang. Of course, we're coming up to solstice in a few weeks. We're actually at the full moon, which is the sun, masculine, opposite the feminine, moon. And this is really interesting as I'm moving the paint around and just allowing that movement, allowing the movement. And of course, when we do this, you know, I then look at my page and go, oh my goodness, what sort of muddle is that? And that's, you know, but that's okay, because sometimes it feels like that. You know, when perhaps we don't know what to say. I remember times in my life when I didn't feel safe to say what was on my heart, let alone what was on my mind. I sort of want that wants to be on here somewhere. Where does that want to go? Again, it sort of feels like there's too much white. We're in the full moon time. Let's discard anything. Let go, release anything that is not working for you. What is not working for you? Let it go. I think it wants to go up there. The paint's a little bit wet, but it should still stick. So let's see what that does to my whole page. And, you know, sometimes when you're working on a page like this, you go, well, what next? What wants to come next? And sometimes the answer is, so, okay. I always have these moments of, oh, yes, of course. So I'm moving my voice symbol. Here's my throat chakra symbol, going, oh, does it want to go down there? No, that didn't feel right. That it does want to go up here in this corner. That's where it feels right. Underneath where I am putting this is the word rest. So the message that I receive from that is, you know, sometimes we get to listen more than we speak. Now, I know that's sort of slightly strange, because here I am speaking. Here I am speaking. But that's the message for me. You know, it's okay to rest your voice and to, you know, to be still and to be calm. I've got one of these other beautiful images, you know, that what's around me that wants to land on this page. And this little image speaks to me of that really, you know, the healing. I've got lavender there by a nice quiet pool. So it's taking the time to go and rest and heal And there's also something going on here about that masculine, feminine coming together. Now, I've been working in acrylic. It's a little bit wet still, but there's a feeling of wanting there to be something just bringing all of this together and sort of flooding this with colour. So what have I got? What have I got that I could use? Let's have a look. I've gone back to using these rather mucky palette of water-based dyes, but I know there's a really beautiful sort of tealy aquamarine colour in here. This kind of brush, and I'm going to just, let's pop that there. I've also got some water that I had out in the garden overnight at the full moon, so I quite like this. Just feels nice. For one thing, yeah, I haven't got water out in my studio, so it's a really nice convenient way of having water, but it just feels really nice to have that sort of water that's connected with the energy of the full moon. And the colour I think I want, and I'm hoping this is that going to work? Yes. So here I've got, so this sort of tealy aquamarine colour is all about clarity. So in a page where there's perhaps, you know, the words have all mixed and merged together, what I want from this, when I speak words from when I speak with my heart rather than straining my voice, then we get, that's where we get the clarity. That feels a great message. So are you speaking, you know, what are you speaking with? Are you speaking with your heart? Are you speaking with your mind? Are you, Sagittarius full moon is very much about, you know, are you overthinking stuff? Yeah, it's a great question to ponder, you know, which part of your body are you using to speak with? That's an interesting journaling prompt. There's a whole new page that could come from that. And, you know, in Garden Party, I talk about speaking your truth. And of course, if we're using the wrong part of our body to speak with, then sometimes that the speaking our truth doesn't actually make any sense. We can't speak our truth because, you know, we're not able to speak from this place of love, not able to speak with our heart. We're speaking from a place of wounded pride or ego. But that now feels, let's see what happens if I go all over that. I think the blue will still show through. I might go and journal over that and add, just get the white back in there. That's making me just contemplate here, you know, are there words that we would rather reclaim? Are there things that we've said that we wish we hadn't said? And of course the full moon again is a great time to work on our forgiveness and just let go of anything that is not serving us. So that's going to need to dry before I put my white on there, I think. I've got a white gel pen buried somewhere, but I think that's going to be too wet. Yeah, there's a little bit wet. So I will let my ink dyes dry, and I just feel I'm going to rest with that page now. I'm going to rest in contemplating how I am using my voice and having permission to feel safe to speak words of truth and love and power. Okay, I will see you in the garden.